Even people who were sharp and doing well a few years earlier often begin to slow down or get weaker after they turn 80. Many people think this happens only because of bad luck or genetics, but that's not the full story. In this video, we'll look at 5 surprising reasons that are often missed. These are not the usual things like food, smoking, or exercise. These reasons are deeper and more hidden, even in people who have lived healthy lives. The good news is that once you understand these reasons, you can do something about them. So if you've ever wondered what really makes it hard to stay healthy after 80, and what you can do to avoid it, stay with me until the end of this video. Let's get started. Reason 1. Loss of small daily social moments. One of the first and most hidden reasons why many older people don't live well after 80 is the quiet loss of something called microsocial engagement. This doesn't mean close friends or family. Those are still important. Microsocial engagement means the small, everyday social moments you used to have without thinking about them. For example, saying hello to the mailman, sharing a quick laugh with the cashier, waving to a neighbor, walking their dog. These little moments may seem unimportant, but they actually help your brain stay active and your body stay calm. They remind you that you are part of a community. But after 80, many older people stop going out as much. They may stop shopping on their own or walking in the neighborhood. Slowly, these tiny moments disappear, and that can quietly hurt their health. They stop doing things by themselves. Instead, they order everything online or ask family members for help. They stop talking to strangers because their hearing isn't as good as before. Or they stop walking outside just because the weather is a bit cold or their knees. When these small daily social moments start to disappear, something else disappears too: energy and life. What's surprising is that many people don't even notice it. They think they're just making life easier. But really, they are slowly removing the little social moments that keep the brain active, lift their mood, and tell the body, I'm still part of the world. It doesn't have to be anything big. I've known men in their 82nds who stayed sharp just because they walked to the same coffee shop every morning. They said hello to the same workers and nodded to the same 3 people on the street. That 5-minute habit wasn't just a routine. It gave them life. It gave them purpose, helped them feel seen, and kept their mind going. When that goes away, the brain feels it. Even small feelings of loneliness can act like stress. This stress changes hormones, increases inflammation, and weakens the immune system. Most importantly, it begins to shrink the parts of the brain that help with memory, focus, and managing emotions. In simple words, it makes you feel older, faster. So, if you've noticed you're not talking to people as much during the day, or maybe you've stopped going out to run small errands, maybe you don't start casual conversations anymore, or maybe you've started to feel invisible in your own neighborhood. If that sounds like you, it's time to make a change. Even the small moments of connection, the ones that seem unimportant, send a message to your brain and body: you still matter, you still belong. And that message is one of the best ways to stay alive, not just in years, but in spirit. Reason 2. Being too careful and doing too little. Another quiet reason some people don't live well after 80 is something that might look smart on the outside: being careful. Of course, it's good to be careful, but sometimes people go too far, and when that happens, the results aren't quick, but they build up over time. It often starts with good intentions. Maybe you slipped on the stairs once, or you almost fell while. So you decide to stop walking outside. You stop bending down to pick things up. You stop getting in and out of cars. You sit more and stay sitting longer. People around you say, good idea, don't overdo it, take it easy. And slowly, without meaning to, you build a life that is safe, but still and inactive. Here's what most people don't realize. When you stop moving, you stop staying strong. And not just in your legs and arms, but also in your balance, your coordination, and your body's ability to stay stable. Your body isn't like a machine that needs rest. It's more like a garden. It needs regular care and movement. If you don't use it, it doesn't just stay the same. It slowly gets weaker. One of the first places this shows is in your core, the muscles in your stomach and back that help you stand, walk, lift things, and even get out of a chair. If you don't use those muscles even for a few weeks, they shrink. And once that happens, your balance, you start to feel wobbly, and the cycle continues. I knew a man named Walter. He was 82. He used to walk a mile every evening. But one day, he slipped on a wet sidewalk. He didn't break anything, just got scared. After that, he stopped walking. He started spending his evenings sitting and watching TV. In just 6 months, he lost 10 pounds of muscle. His legs felt weak. His doctor warned him, but by then, the damage had already begun. Walter didn't stop walking because he was weak. He became weak because he stopped walking. I'm not saying you should ignore real risks. There are smart ways to stay safe, like using handrails, wearing good shoes, keeping your walkways clear, or even using a cane if it helps. But there's a big difference between being careful and giving up. When fear controls your choices, your body starts to forget how to move. So if you've noticed you're doing less, not because you can't, but because you're afraid of what might happen, it's time to stop. Ask, am I protecting myself, or am I slowly fading away? Staying alive after 80 isn't just about avoiding a fall. It's also about keeping your body moving, even if it means moving slower or more carefully. Movement tells your body, I still need you. It keeps your systems working, your brain awake, and your heart full of purpose. And if you're still watching this video and learning something helpful, please comment number 2 below so I know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time. Hit the bell too so you don't miss any new videos. Your support helps us keep making good content that informs and inspires. Reason 3. Poor sleep. From too little light in the day and too much at night, there's a clock inside your body. It doesn't tick, but it controls almost everything. Your mood, your energy, your immune system, and how your brain repairs itself at night. After age 80, this internal clock, called your circadian rhythm, becomes even more sensitive. The reasons it gets out of sync is light, not getting enough during the day and getting too much at night. You might not notice it at first. Maybe you've started taking more naps during the day, especially in the afternoon. Maybe you don't go outside much anymore, especially when it's cold. Maybe you watch TV in the evening or leave bright lights on late while reading or watching movies. These things may seem small, but over time they confuse your body. It starts to forget when it should be awake and when it should rest. Your body depends on natural light to stay on schedule. Bright dot morning light tells your brain it's time to wake up, get moving, and send energy where it's needed. Darkness at night tells your brain to release melatonin, a calming hormone that helps you sleep deeply and heal. But if your eyes don't get enough natural light during the day, or if your evenings are full of bright light from screens or lamps, your body gets confused. What happens then? Falling asleep, wake up during the night, feel tired, even after 8 hours in bed, feel low energy or forgetful during the day. Over time, this poor sleep affects more than just how tired you feel. It can make your immune system weaker, make your mood less steady, raise the risk of memory problems. There's also another issue, vitamin D. Your body makes vitamin D when your skin is in sunlight, but after age 80, your body becomes less able to make it, so getting outdoor light becomes even more important. Without it, your bones, muscles, and immune system can all suffer. I once spoke to a woman named Helen. She was 84 and had been feeling very tired and confused. Her blood tests looked normal. Her diet hadn't changed. She wasn't taking new medicine. Then her doctor made a simple suggestion. Sit by a window for 20 minutes every morning with the blinds wide open and turn off screens 1 hour before bed. Within 2 weeks, her sleep got better. Her memory got sharper. It wasn't a new pill. It was light. So if you're spending most of your time inside with the curtains closed, or if you're watching TV or using your phone late into the evening, it's time to make a change. Try going outside within an hour after you wake up, even if it's just for a few minutes on the porch. Let your eyes and skin take in that morning light. At night, turn down the lights. Let your body slowly wind down. These small daily rhythms aren't just for comfort, they're key to survival. Because the body doesn't just get old from overuse, it also gets old from being out of rhythm, when its systems stop working together. Getting back to a steady light schedule, better sleep, and healthy routines is how you help your body stay strong, even at 85. Holding in emotions from loss and loneliness. By the time many people reach their 80s, they've lived through deep losses. A husband or wife, a brother or sister, a lifelong friend, sometimes even a child. The outside world may offer polite sympathy, but what people don't talk about is how deeply these losses build up, not just in your heart, but in your body. What happens after 80 is often more than just grief. It's emotional. Emotional suppression means holding in your feelings instead of letting them out. It's the quiet habit of keeping your pain inside, of putting on a brave face. Maybe because you think you should be used to loss by now, or because there's no one left who really understands how much you've lost. But here's the truth. Your body doesn't forget. When grief isn't dealt with, when it's not spoken, shared, or fully felt, it doesn't just go away. It stays inside. And over time, that hidden emotional pain becomes physical. It can weaken your immune system, upset your digestion, disrupt your sleep, mess with your hormones. Keep your body in quiet, constant stress, and the hardest part, it happens silently. On the outside, you may seem calm. You might even say, I'm fine. But if your shoulders feel heavier, your breathing feels shallow, you've lost your spark, even a little, it could be grief, even if you haven't talked about it in years. I remember a man named George. He was 86 and had lost his wife of 60 years. He didn't cry much, said he was okay, said that's just how he was. But within a year, he lost weight. He stopped going to the senior center. He couldn't sleep well anymore. Not because he was sick, but because his body was carrying unspoken sorrow. You see, emotional pain doesn't need to be big or dramatic to hurt you. And when it finally shows up in your health, most people don't even realize it's connected. People who live long, full lives after 80 usually have something in common. They let their feelings out. They talk, they write, they pray, they cry when they need to. They have safe ways to express their sadness, their fear, their loneliness. They say things like, I miss her, and they're not judged for it. Letting those feelings out gives the heart room to breathe, and when the heart can breathe, the body can heal. That's why people who live long often have an outlet, a trusted friend, a journal at church or community group, a therapist, or just a quiet place where they can think and feel whatever form it takes. The idea is the same. What gets expressed can start to heal. What gets buried builds up. So if you've been keeping something inside, not because you want to, but because you didn't know what else to do, now is the time to make space for it, not just for your emotions, but for your life. Because the heart can only hold so much pain before it starts to quietly shut down. And if you want to live well past 80, not just breathing, but really alive, you have to let yourself feel too. If you're still watching and you found this part helpful, please comment number 4 below so I know you're here. Go ahead and hit that button and turn on the bell so you don't miss future. Support helps us keep making content to inform and inspire. Now let's move on. Reason 5th, the slow loss of daily purpose. Loss of daily purpose is something many people don't notice until it's gone. I'm not talking about some big, deep meaning of life. I mean the small things that give you a reason to get out of bed in the morning. Purpose doesn't need to be huge. It can be watering your plants before the sun gets too hot, feeding the neighborhood cat that waits by your door, writing a letter to your granddaughter, fixing a squeaky gate in the backyard. These little routines matter. They keep your mind and body moving. But when they start to fade, when the morning comes and there's nothing to do, when the evening comes and there's nothing to think back on, something inside you starts to shut down. The body listens to the mind. Seeing a reason to keep going, the body slows down too. You may eat less, you may move less. Your body isn't broken, it's just waiting for a reason to wake up again. This loss of purpose can happen slowly. Maybe your weekly card game got canceled. Maybe your church group stopped meeting. Maybe family doesn't visit as often, or your old volunteer job ended when your knees started hurting. You might tell yourself, this is just part of getting older. But deep down you feel it. The days all start to blend together, each one quieter than the last. I remember meeting a woman named Ruth, age 88. She seemed more full of life than people half her age. She didn't have a lot of money. She had some health problems. She didn't have a big family around her. But she had one important thing: routine. Every Monday, she wrote postcards to people in her church who couldn't leave their homes. Every Thursday, she made soup and froze it for a local shelter. And every day at 4 p.m., she stood and waved at the neighborhood kids walking home from school. She knew their names. They knew hers. They always waved back. It wasn't anything big or fancy, but it gave her days meaning. It gave her heart a rhythm. It gave her life consistency. Here's the secret no one really talks about: the body stays alive as long as it believes it's needed. Even the smallest bit of purpose is like fuel. It tells your body, keep going, keep healing, keep learning, keep caring. But when you feel like nothing you do matters anymore, when you feel invisible or forgotten, the fire inside you starts to fade. That's why people who live past 80% with energy and joy usually have something that keeps them going. Some people stay strong after 80 because they have something to anchor their day. It could be a garden, a pet, a journal, a daily routine, a phone call, a short morning prayer. It doesn't have to be big. What matters most is that it's regular. But knowing, I have something to do today. If you've been feeling lost lately, like your days have no shape or purpose, don't ignore that feeling. It's not just sadness, it's your body asking for structure, for connection, for purpose again. Because staying alive isn't only about your heart beating, it's about your heart wanting to beat. That small desire to stay connected, to feel useful. That's what helps people live well past 80 with meaning and joy. Final thoughts. As we finish this video, I want to leave you with one simple truth. Most people don't fade after 80 because of one big event. It's not one fall, one illness, or one birthday that changes everything. It's the small, quiet fading of daily habits, regular routines, personal reasons to keep going, and it happens slowly. So slowly that you might not notice until one day you feel like something. But here's the good news. Just like these changes come slowly, they can also be reversed slowly. One walk outside, one short chat with someone at the store, one little stretch in the morning. One thing you do today, not because you have to, but because it gives your day some shape and meaning. That's how things begin to turn around. Now think about the 5 quiet reasons we talked about in this video. Which one surprised you? Which one felt a little too familiar? And most important, which one are you willing to work on, even just a little, starting today? Because the truth is, you have more power than you think. You can't stop aging, but you can shape how you age. If you stay aware of the small changes, if you protect your routines, if you hold onto your purpose, and if you allow yourself to feel your emotions, instead of hiding them, then you won't just reach 80, you'll live well beyond it, fully, deeply, and in your own way. Thank you for spending time with you. Leave a comment below and tell us, what's one thing you learned today, and how do you plan to use it in your life? Your thoughts matter to us, and reading your comments inspires us to keep creating content that helps and encourages you. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us keep making helpful and meaningful videos just for you. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next video.